Yo, what's going on, guys? It's hip hop artist and producer Civic Beats. Welcome to the first beat breakdown video. I'm going to be doing a series of these videos over the next couple weeks and next couple months, really. It's going to range and vary from topic to topic. I might do beat breakdowns, or I might analyze and kind of, break apart certain songs I've already released, and also give some insight into new releases coming up in the future. So if you guys have anything that you want me to cover, whether it be plugins or vocal production or even more stuff to do with the beat making, just leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to try to hit as many markers as I can for the next upcoming videos. So today we're going to be working with Maschine from Native Instruments. Normally, I do my beats in Maschine, or really I should say the drums. I've kind of like bounced back and forth between Logic and Maschine for like the overall production process. I find myself now using more Logic and then using Maschine as a plugin within Logic for the drums specifically. So we can talk about that after and like during the video, but let's dive in real quick. This is a new beat that I had actually in the vault for a while. Nobody's really heard it yet. I haven't published it anywhere or released it on anything. We do have a song written for it, and basically it's pretty much done being recorded. But as far as releasing it goes, there's not really any specific plan for it yet. So I figured, why not, let's do a beat breakdown and how we made this, and then when the song comes out, you guys have a little bit more insight on it. So first things first, just want to talk about how I arrange a beat in the first place. So I usually like to stack everything first. I really build with, or I build out a beat using just stacked layers. After I have all the elements in place, then I kind of like to go back and then really distribute and then create like my intros, my verses, my hooks, and then my outros. But yeah, so we can dive in here. Normally what I'll do if I am making a beat solely or like majority in Maschine, I will sometimes do melodies and chord progressions in Logic. And then what I'll do is I'll bounce it out and then I'll work with it in Maschine to build the beat around it. So that's what we have here. We have the first instrument, which is an ARP. I named it ARP Melody when I bounced it out. So it's basically just a sample now in Maschine that I'm using. So I'll play this and I'll solo everything so you can hear what it sounds like. Cool. All right, so yeah, that's the melody that I played in Logic. It kind of had like an anthem type of feel, and I loved it about it. So I was like, you know what, let's roll with that. I wasn't sure what I was gonna end up doing with it. I didn't know how I wanted the track to kind of sound overall, and usually that's like the majority of like the process that I really go through. I don't really know what it's going to be until it's like already done, and then when I hear it back, I'm like, wow, that was completely different from what I thought. So the second thing that I added was a kind of like a pad sound. It's called Blue Crystal. I do use a lot of different sound. I use more like sound kits in Maschine. This specific sound came from Contact 10. So, and I love Contact 10. I got it a while ago, and I still have yet to go through all the different sounds and presets for the sounds. But usually, you know what, I end up going through, and then for the first 5 minutes of picking out some sounds, I'll generally like just put my own effects on it and make it sound like something completely different. So that's why I never really get through all of them yet. But anyway, here's what this sounds like. I'll mute the ARP Melody. It has a very like laid back kind of vibe. You can almost like see it like very cinematically, like in the backdrop of some movie or something. Cool. So now that's the second layer, I should say, that I added onto it. I then added a third. It's the same chord progression. It's only 2 chords. This one has a little bit of a different sound, but still kind of the same vibe. I'll let you listen to that right now. Oh, stop playing. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry, a little bit of a hiccup. It's Reactor. Sometimes it kind of bugs out on me. So this is the same chord progression, but different sound, same kind of vibe. But you can kind of hear. I'll solo it the way it is, and then I'll play the 3 that we have so far layered together, and you can hear already what the direction of the overall beat's gonna go. So here's what this sounds like here. And now we'll layer the ones that we already had. Cool. So after I have these 3 elements in there, I added only 2 more things before I actually added the beat. So, or I guess 3 more elements. So the 4th thing that I did add was a bell sound. It's called Ambibella in Contact, and I manipulated it a little bit. I have a H delay and a filter. Took some of the low end out and stuff like that, so we'll hear what this sounds like alone. So kind of gave it a little bit of a inflection at the end. I also did stack these. I just felt like it was a better sound than just... When you play them together, they just have, you know, it's more rich to me. Cool. So now we layer that already with what we have. And these are the chords that I did play for both of the pad instruments. And by the way, if you guys are wondering which like synthesizer these are, the blue crystal is from Rounds, and then the long sequence is from Reactor. Reactor is the one that kind of bugs out of me sometimes, but still I love the sounds that they have on there. So now what we can do is, let me shorten this up so you can see. There we go. All right, so now that we have all of that together, I'll play that real quick so you can hear what that sounds like all together. All right, now we have just one more element, really 2, but a main element is just one more. So for the last one, we have another thing that I recorded in Logic. It was a bass pattern. I like the sound that I found and manipulated in Logic, so I didn't even bother like coming over to Maschine and finding something else. And honestly, too, this was, like I said, I made this beat a year ago, so to go back and forth between Maschine and Logic, it was way more than it needed to be. I made it way more complicated on myself than it should have been, because now, you know, the process is everything I do in Logic, I just route everything I do in Maschine to Logic, and I just use it basically as a plugin for the drums, like I said before. So this would be a lot easier to show if I had done it at that time, but you know, we're just rocking with what we have right now. So this is basically a sample now, and this is what this sounds like. Well, gotta mute this. Cool. I need to get some more space on my computer. All right, so yeah, for the bass for this one, I used a sub bass in Logic, and then I came here and I added a compressor, a vitamin on here to kind of give it a little bit more low end, a little bit more of like a subby kind of sound, and then a transient master. So altogether, just made it sound more fuller, more rich, without, you know, getting in the way of everything else that's already in the beat so far. So when I layer all of these things together, I also do have a riser on here, by the way, as well. So this is going to be, you know, when I arrange, you know, the scenes. I already do, and then you guys can hear at the end what it all sounds like as I arranged it. But this is what it sounds like all together with the riser before the beat drop. Oh, I always forget to unmute that. Cool. So now that we have that, we can kind of move on to the drums now. Awesome. All right, so for the drums, I'll kind of go through these one by one, just like I did with the other instruments. So the first thing that I started off with was a kick. Sorry about that, guys. That was the homeboy Julian calling from Orlando. If you guys don't know who Julian is, or if you're new here to the channel, go back and watch some of the old music videos. He's in Love for Music and Daydreaming. Dope ass dude. I love that dude. We go back since 2016. We met at Full Sail University down in Florida. So yeah, he's dope. Go check him out too. So anyway, back to the beat making video. We already went through all of the melodic instruments and the chord progressions. So moving on to the drums, the first instrument that I used was a kick. I always like to start off with a kick. I always flip-flop. I either start with a kick or I start with the hi-hats. That's just the way I do it. But so the first one that I got, the first instrument that I have is the Zaddy Kick. It's from one of the drum kits that I had previously downloaded a while ago. I believe it was from the Lakey drum pack. So I love this kick. I've used it for multiple, you know, different beats. It just has a very good tone, and it punches through really well. It's not too like knocky without any of the sub in it, but it has like that perfect balance in between. So I'll let you guys check it out real quick. Cool. I then went to a snare to kind of, you know, start off the initial rhythm of it. I did place it on every third. So here we go. Sometimes I like to introduce like a second snare to kind of give it more of like a rhythm feel. Add a little bit of reverb on that. With that reverb on that second snare, I did take a lot of the low end out and boost the high end. I like to increase the size, but then I like to take it down in the mix. I just want that subtle, you know, kind of reverb sound in the background. I don't want it to overpower. I don't want it to take away from the initial hit. So, and it sounds more than what it is right now because there's no other elements playing right now. So next, I did move on to a hi-hat, and I'll solo everything, or I solo the hi-hat so you can hear it alone. Very simple, but it does the trick. And you guys can hear I did spice it up a little bit by adding that triplet right there, and playing it in down pitched. So it just kind of adds like a better groove. I don't know. It adds a lot to it. It's so simple, but it adds so much. All right. So now that we have that, I went on to I did use 3 different open hi-hats. One I like to do before, like right before like the snare hit, and then others just to kind of like break up the beat a little bit and add a little bit more variance to it. So here's what these 3, all of them sound like together. Bring in the hi-hats. Cool. All right, so that's basically it for the drums, guys. Like I said, this is now in the midst of being recorded on right now. This I kind of went in and redid some of the stuff on here just for the purpose of the video itself. So I'll probably do another video where I actually like show how I'm mixing every sound to the final, you know, end product. But yeah, everything on here right now is I'm just either manipulating in a sampler or I'm adding some small stuff like the reverb, the kick. I think I sidechained already. Yep. So I sidechained my bass from back before when we were going through it, the bass line that I laid out in Logic. I already sidechained it to this kick right here, so it just punches a little bit better through. I'll actually play that with it right now so you can hear. It allows the kick to come through, but it doesn't take away from the 808 or the kick itself, you know, at all. We're bringing the blue crystal pad, I should say. Alright, bet. So now that we have everything laid out, I'm going to basically let you guys hear what I have so far. So for this one, typically what I'll do is I'll start off just like that. I'll stack everything on top of one another, and then once I feel like that part is full enough or I can work with that enough, then I'll go in and I'll start to create different patterns, and I'll, you know, arrange different scenes and then basically arrange the entire beat to how I want it, by, you know, subtracting certain things, adding certain things here. But for the most part, what I do, like especially for this one, is I'll make like a 41 bar, you know, track, and then I'll bounce this out to Logic, and then I kind of chop up and arrange different parts for either the verse or the chorus or the intro or outro. I might use like some low pass filters, high pass filters, and in the old way I used to do it, which was how I did this one, every time I had to change something or I wanted to like take out like a hi-hat or, you know, a snare hit, you know, somewhere, I had to come back into Maschine and then change it on here, rebounce it back to Logic, so I had that piece, and then I could work with that piece in Logic, which, like I said, in hindsight, it just was making way more work for myself, because now what I'll do is I'll route everything, all of these different channels to Logic, so I have, you know, full manipulation power within Logic. So yeah, I'll play this out. You can hear it out, how it's arranged so far. So there it is, guys. That's the beat breakdown for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments, questions, or anything that I might have skipped over or just kind of like breezed right by, just let me know down in the comment section below. For the next upcoming videos, I'll be sure to read through those and then try to like nail every single point that you guys were asking. Like I said, this is the first one, so typically I tend to like kind of go through things and explain things really fast. I might narrow these down a little bit. I might go and just talk about certain topics alone. So for instance, you know, something like how to sidechain your 808 to your kick, or your kick to your 808, or how to manipulate using, you know, certain plugins. I might just, you know, kind of go from video to video like that. I feel like that's very, very helpful. But like I said, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of my process and my breakdown when I make a beat. So like I said, if you have any questions, comment down below. If you haven't yet, follow me on all my social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. I'll leave a link down in the description of the video as well. Hit me up on there. I'll be posting like updates on when I'm going to be uploading new videos. I want to try doing it every Wednesday or Thursday. I feel like that's a pretty good time of the week, because every other day I'm either recording or I'm, you know, planning something for an upcoming release. So these days are pretty crucial with the time frame that I have. So I also will leave a link down in the description too. Anything that you guys use for streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, you name it. I'm on everything, so you guys can go and check out any previous releases that I have, and make sure you guys stay tuned for any future releases coming up, and they're going to be coming up real soon. But yeah, that's it, guys. So until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Baby girl, you should know what you're in for. You just got it what you came for. Fighting in hotel rooms on the floor. Watch you step on your way out through the door. Now you're hurting on the run. Understand that